That should be better. See, not muted, just wavelength. Just wavelength. So, I don't know if it's a, whatchamacallit, USB hub thing or not, but basically half the time when I have my, with my microphone, when I turn my computer on, you have to unplug and replug the wavelength, the microphone in before wavelength sees it. So otherwise you just end up in the situations where I'm not actually muted, it's just not picking up the input. I'm not really ready for this stream. It was a bit last minute and I was eating dinner when I agreed to it, but let's see how we go with the internet. I mean, in theory, like, it's not terrible. Let's put something chill on because it's a Sunday evening. There we go. I did not increase my bitrate. I touched nothing. This is just decent internet for you. So how is everyone? I know poor White Panther's on a deathbed. I've not touched any settings. I literally just decided half an hour ago while eating that I was going to go live. And so here we are. But yeah, as the stream title says, boxes on boxes on boxes. So there's two things we're going to try and do this evening. The first one is we're going to try and get Streamboard up on my iPad. So I can draw on the screen and you should see it. And the other thing we're going to do is boxes on boxes on boxes. So last stream before, can't remember when it was, I started work on doing doing my users page on my website, and I just think it could look a bit better. So I thought we could just do a little bit of making it not look terrible. I'm not going to be live for ages because I'm getting up at 6 tomorrow to go to the gym. Because I want to go while it's quiet, and so this is not going to be a late one. But let's see. So we're on the right network. It should be running. According to my lovely terminal here, it should be running. Let's zoom in a bit. Oh, go away, Nightbot. That's so not true. I'll update project in a minute. We want to go to this address here, which is HTTP. I don't know if this will work or not. We've got to try it and see. I did set up an ngrok tunnel. I might stop the ngrok tunnel actually because it was pointed out to me that I don't need it. Okay. Well, HTTP / 172 dot. No, that's a colon. We want dot 25. I should have done this before I went live, but you know, it's more fun to do it together. So I'm just at the minute, all I'm doing is entering an URL in Safari. No, Safari. Chrome on my iPad. 125 160.1 port 3000. That's what happens. Do we get a drawing? We get a place to sketch. Let's find out. It works on the computer. It's just harder to draw with the mouse. I would like to be able to, use my pencil and draw boxes on boxes on boxes. Because if we have a look at my website, yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true, Steph. You are absolutely right. And also, hi, Steph. I mean, it's not reacting very quickly, so I'm not filled with confidence. But yeah, basically at the moment, this is what each of my see the icon's dodgy. I need a better icon. But yeah, at the moment you can see each of these like components is a block. So you've got the logo, the name, the description, and a button to learn more. I just think we can make it look better. Like, it looks pretty crisp. Like, I'm quite impressed what I managed to do without any input. But yeah, I just think we can make it look better. So for a bit of fun Sunday night, if I can get this to work. No, that's not working. So your client is connected, but doesn't know why. So HTTP 172.25.160. It's an internal IP, so I'm not doxing myself here. Let's just, alright, we're going to do it from an internet tab for a second. Dr. Dynamite, sup? I need to keep an eye on OBS actually rather than having this browser window open because I need to make sure I'm not moving my thing too much. So we want to go to... Hey, thanks for the resub. 6 months, eh? That's impressive. There we go. There you go. So this should bring up the drawing. It didn't on my iPad. It just couldn't connect. And they should be on the same network, so I don't know what's going on. But yeah, so we can... Oh, let's not do that. We can... If we pick a colour, say... I don't know. Something really bright. You can actually click these and switch them. Let's do hex. Let's do FFA03A. There we go. So if we draw something on here now, so make this slightly bigger. We can draw a big old smiley face. See how it's appearing twice? Because it's actually drawing on the screen, right? And if we move this out the way so that it's not on screen, look at that. See? You've got the drawing on screen. Hey! Happy Sunday, TV. Possibly, I don't know. I need to look into it more in all fairness. But yeah, basically, if I can get the connection working at some point, which I'll do off stream because it will involve too many configurations and poking around in places that you can't see, like the Starlink app. And yeah, that's not good stream content. But yeah, once we get it working, in terms of connecting, you will see that we have the smiley face. I'm also aware that this night costume sub was met, so at some point I'm going to get the night costume. I've just been incredibly busy. Like, I've just had a week off work, right? And on Monday I rented a van to help a friend move house. Then on Tuesday I went to London, was in a 12-hour, just over 12-hour meeting on Wednesday. On Thursday I was in a meeting until just after 2. But because of the way that off-peak and peak times work on UK trains, I couldn't get a train for 5 hours. So I ended up just mooching around London, like checking out the new Northern Line stations. And then I spent about a good 2 hours just sat outside one of the train stations in the rain reading my Kindle. Because it was drizzling and I'm a northerner. I mean, I'm not, but I'm a northerner at heart. You know, all these people, you know, hiding under covers or getting umbrellas out. I'm like, it's just a bit of rain. But yeah, and then Friday I was at home all day in terms of I wasn't in London, but then I had a recording in the morning, a catch up with a friend that we ended up chatting for nearly 2 hours. Then I had a book club and then I had the gym. Like, I've just not had any time to do anything yet. So, yes, White Panther. And I'm using 3000 because that's what the, what this told me to use. You cannot, TD. You cannot. At the moment, it's all... I'll clear this off. It's all local. So this... I've got the app running locally, and then I connect to an internal IP, where I then can draw on the screen. It's all Dr. Dynamite's magical work. Plus, there is the risk of letting other people draw on my screen that someone's going to come along and draw something inappropriate. And although you might hear the odd bad language on this stream, I do not want anything that's going to get me in trouble with TOS, Terms of Service on Twitch, because people are drawing rude things on my screen. So, hey, Mr. Twist, welcome in. Welcome in. Okay, so, yeah, so that's WebSockets drawing from Dr. Dynamite. Awesome. I can't get it to connect from my iPad, but that's another day's problem. Well, Steph, you're the ruler of the internet. You should know. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's try it. So let's do on a different one. NPX local tunnel for 3000. No, that didn't work. Oh, MPX, I can't. Oh, okay. Alright. MPX, not MPM. What's that gonna do? Oh, okay, let's try it. If that works, Dr. D, I'm gonna be very impressed. Let's try it. Okay, so we want... I'm just entering the URL. Hey, that worked. Okay. So I've got my, I could share the URL, but I'm not going to because I don't trust people of the internet. Okay. So let's draw something. Let's do... Okay, so, ooh, there you go. No, that didn't come through. Let's undo that. Okay. Okay, that's not working with OBS, but I think that's because I need to do this. Let me go into studio mode, click this side, go to components, and I want Streamboard. I want to change this to be yeah, that's just what I was doing, Steffi. Let's see if that worked. Nope. It's okay. The main thing is though is that it does work. If we can get the talking to each other right, it does work. So that's super cool. Like, at the end of the day, I can still draw stuff with a mouse. I just chose not to. Let me just close that. Yes. Close that. Close that. And disconnect stream. Well, we don't need it right now. So, where were we? Oop. Let's go into here. Just making sure I'm on the right project. Yes, I am. Okay, so let's... Ooh. Did OBS just disconnect on me? Nope. I didn't try the stream preview. I'm assuming it will eventually. I just haven't tried it right now. We'll try it in a bit. As I said, it's not... Once it works, it's fun stream content, but getting it to... It's not really stream content when 90% of what I need to do can't be shared on screen. So we'll come back to it. So, as I said, oof, I hate having to sit like this. I literally have to sit like at an angle. Yeah, so we've got this little boxing going on, and like it looks neat, but I don't know. I feel like we could probably make it look better. What do we think? Has anyone got any suggestions for how we could make these boxes look better? Obviously, I know this logo's squished because it's not meant to be square, but in terms of the actual component itself, is there any improvements we think we could make? Because I'm open to, if we want to work on something else, I'm open to suggestions, but like this is a very pop-up stream. I don't know what to work on. The stream go offline? I didn't know about it. Oh, okay, a grid layout. Okay, we could do grid layout. Okay. Let's get the code up and running. Here we go. Okay, so we can close everything. At the moment, we don't want styles or utils, we want... No. Okay, we want components. What am I doing? Components, we want our... Spotify. Here we go, users entry. So at the moment, it's just a div. So do you mean that you want it to be a grid of the pages? Hey Ian. So that you can see like 1, 2, 3, 4. Because then that won't be the component we change, will it? That'll be the page that embeds the component. So that'll be pages. There we go. I'm learning. I use the right page. Like, I'm still not a confident like front-end developer with Next.js and stuff, but this starter template has made my life easier. Obviously, it has its own learning curve and stuff because, you know, there's some stuff that you've not learned how to do because it was done for you. So it gets you up and running faster. It just means that sometimes when you want to do something with it, you just have to overcome the understanding what's already there. Okay. We've got the main layout, and we've got the hero banner, and then we've got the content wrapper, and that is a user's entry. So we want a grid of users' entries, okay? How are we going to do this? Can we just do grids? Nope. Might be annoying, but I'm going to try it because I don't like the lack of it autocomplete. Okay, so it's going to be. It's going to be like flex. I've not done web dev in a while, so you'll have to excuse my rustiness. Is there a component for it, or do we need to? There we go. Got dashboards. Okay. Sorry for the 90 million lumens. There is a grid, but why is it not rendering? Okay. Yeah, so we've got layouts. Okay. Samples. Page. TypeScript. Data fetching. Okay, that's not what I wanted. What's that? So we've got grid container. So it uses a series of grid components, restyled and renamed. Okay. Question is though, quick start. That's great, but that's grid. Okay, so it's not as simple as, yeah, I know, Steffi, I know. Can you do anything about that? That sounds blooming marvellous. Where's night? Where's dark read? I've forgotten what it even looks like. Oh, there it is. There you go. Is that better, Steph? don't want like draggable. There's really just no simple grid. Let's refer to the source of all knowledge. What's with the different colours? Is that my stupid, yeah. So this is, yeah, this is a column layout. Or is it a grid? Oh, well, yeah, I thought that, but because it's React. Oh, okay. Well, this is the thing. Because it's React, everything's in components, isn't it? So you automatically just think component. Okay, so it's even got a style. No. We've got users entry styles. Now we need a user styles. Users.module.css. Yeah, I realised that. I was looking at it. I was like, oh yeah, look at this. This is a grid. Okay. But we'll see what we can come up with first of all. Okay, so gonna be okay, so let's get it linked up first and we'll do our usual nonsense to make sure that the it's linked up. Hey Steve, I could go on for longer but I'm not going to deafen you all. I'm going to do color is pink. It's ridiculous, but it will show me that it's linked up properly. So, ooh, yeah, I managed a sub goal. We need a new goal. You need to help me decide what the new goal is going to be. As I said, I am going to order the reward for reaching 30 subs. I just have been too busy to get organised with it. It's coming, and this was an unplanned stream. Hey, Jade's here. Welcome to the non-gaming stream. How are you today, Jade? And how are you, Steve? I saw that you finished your Batmobile. I got the majority of my office sorted, and then I decided to read for a bit. Like, there's a few other bits to sort out, but on the whole, my office is much better than it was this morning. Oh, nice. Oh, for God's sake. Well, I'm not. We'll sub at some point. Okay. What languages do you know, Jade? You've been up 30 hours. Why? What is it with you lot? So Jade, meet my internet family. Internet family, meet Jade. She's part of another little circle that I'm in with, where I tend to watch. When I wake up in the middle of the night, they're normally streaming like Dead by Daylight or Files or other games like that. But yeah, they're good company because good old Americans. When I have insomnia, people wake up. Yay! Phasmo, that's the one. Yes. Don't own or play. Oh yeah, and Lunch Lady. What is it with you lot on playing games where it's all about getting chased? Okay, so we've got our users page, and that does use React, so I can import. I always forget how we do this. I'm going to double check a different page. What else you play? I shouldn't do. I've got my own drop overlay on. Oh, there we go. That should solve it. There we go. I guess no one would have interacted before. I forgot Panther Drop was still on. So this is pro streaming. This is what happens when you decide like 20 minutes in advance that you're going to go ahead. I've heard of 3 of the 4 of those. I've vaguely heard of Smite, but I'm not sure what it is. Okay. But those that are late to the party, basically what we're going to do is, on my blog, I have this users page that I need to sit and add more to Contentful, which is the content management system in the back end. So all the blogs and data and everything that's in here are all coming from Contentful. So I need to sit and add more tools in it. But basically this is a component. Every tool that I use has the same layout, which is an icon, a name, a description, and then a link button. You see, it's the same icon, name, description, link button, icon, name, description, link button. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to make it look a bit better. So Dr. Dynamite's suggestion was to make this into a grid. So that's what we're doing. Hey, Chris. Oh, there's all these different internet worlds of mine colliding. How you doing, Chris? It's weird seeing someone from Hobo's world when Hobo's not here. I spoke to him yesterday, though. He's all right. He's just bored stiff because he doesn't have internet until Wednesday. But anyway, yes, we're going to try and make this into a grid. Hey, Jay Walters here. Woo! And Spicy. Woo! In Hobo's world. You guys are the core of Hobo's world. He says he's horrible to your face, but he's nice about you behind your back. Okay, so let's just have a look at another example. So we import... Okay, so yes, import the name of the styles from... Okay. So we're going to steal one of these examples and we're going to say... I mean, you can throw the Steam and Dungeon Discord if you want, Jay, but it's not... I don't know how many people care about coding streams. We want to import... users. That's interesting. So it's users from styles users. So if we run this now, when this over here, npm run dev. No, that was VS Code, Chris. So yeah, it's a text editor lots of people use. Okay, so it's live. Let's go. 90 million humans. If we go to my users page now. Oh, okay. Wait, what? Wait, what? I mean, I could use JetBrains products. I have a license. I just never use JetBrains products. Let me know why. It's saying users has already been declared. What am I doing wrong? So that was from users line 12. Ah, okay, I need to call it something else. Okay. Rename users page. Users page. I'm not completely convinced by that name, but be users page. Let's see. We're going to unbreak now. Wait, what? Are we already done? Bye, Comet. I'm going to bring you treats soon. I'm going to bring you lots of orange sticks. Okay, so we've got button styles. Ah, okay, we need to actually apply it to something. Yeah, Comet's a cat. A very cute cat. I have Comet merch. I actually have a t-shirt with Comet's face on it, because why not? Cats are great. We love animals around here. Let's do it to something. I don't know. Get some inspiration. No, from somewhere. Ooh, what snake you got, Jade? I had a corn snake until last year. Been about a year actually, almost. He chills in a box downstairs now. I got him pet cremated because why not? Ooh, okay. We've got page content. Can't do that. We need to make a container of some description. Can you use multiple style modules? Yes, yes you can. Oh, okay, so you just specify it explicitly. So it would be here, it would be... Oh, you don't need to because we're not... That's kind of cool. I like that. Okay. Here it's very specific. We could wrap this in a div. Div, close that. The opening tag is a closing tag. Move this inside of it. The lowercase d feels wrong. Oh no, it's right. So the class name is going to be users page. Now let's give it a name. We're going to call it entry grid. And then here we will say that our dot entry grid right, lowercase, yeah. Now it should work. See if it can work. There we go. Okay, so the paragraphs are in pink. So we've got it linked up. That's progress 1. Now we need to work on actually making the layout pink. So layout. Content. Wow, how have I forgotten how to do this already? This is terrible. You know, it's time for friends. It's Flexbox Froggy, but it's yeah, that's Flexbox. Grid Garden, there we go. Let's refresh ourselves with a little bit of Grid Garden. Can you see that? Okay, the color contrast isn't great. Okay, so we're going to write CSS to grow a carrot garden. Okay. Oh, display, that's that one. Oh my god. Okay, we're going to do this because I clearly need a refresher and then I'll apply it afterwards. Water only areas have carrots by using the grid column start. Okay, grid column start 3. There we go. So because we said that you start in column 3, it's only applying it to that cell. Okay. And now we need to poison them. So now we need to do grid column 5. Grid column start is going to be 5. There we go. So we poison the weeds. Bye, weeds. See ya. There we go. Okay. Okay, so you can use grid column end properly. So you want it to go for 3 blocks. You want grid column end at the 3rd one. Nope. Okay, it's what? Oh, it's vertical lines. Okay, so it's like, oop, that's cut off a bit for you, but yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. There we go. That's better. So water the carrots. When pairing grid column start and grid column end, you might assume that the end value has to be greater than the start value, but this turns out not to be the case. Try setting grid column end to a value less than 5 to water your carrots. Okay, grid column end going to be 1, 2. There we go. I guess it doesn't, they're not paired together, are they? I guess they're not listening to each other. It's just saying on this one, all right, I'm going to draw a line here, and on this one, we're going to draw a line here. So as long as they, you know, the numbers is a range, it doesn't matter if it's start and end or end and start, it will still draw them. Okay, if you want to count grid lines from the right to the left, you can give grid column start and grid column end negative values. For example, you can set it to -1 to specify the first grid line from the right. Okay. So grid column end is going to be -1 or -2, isn't it? 1. Why is that upset? What have I done? I did set it to a negative value. Oh, can't spell. Grid from end should be -2. There we go. Woo! Okay. It's good to practice these things sometimes. Now set grid and column start to negative value. So grid column start -3. There we go. Never hurts to stop to learn. Instead of defining a grid item based on the start and end positions of the grid lines, you can define it based on your desired column width using the span keyword. Keep in mind that span only works with positive values. For example, water these carrots with the rule grid column end span 2. That's clever. Try using grid column end with the span keyword to water your carrots. Okay, grid column end span 1, 2, 3, 5. There we go. I'm getting there. You can also use a span keyword with grid column start to set your item's width relative to the end position. Okay, so grid column start span 3. Makes sense. Again, like with all these things in CSS, it makes sense when you're doing these little games, and sometimes you go to apply it and it's like, hey? Okay. Typing both grid column start and grid column end every time can get tiring. Fortunately, grid column is a shorthand property that accepts both values at once separated by a slash. For example, grid column 2, 4 will set the grid item to start on the second vertical grid line and end on the fourth grid line. Okay, so we want it to start on the 1, 2, first, second, third, fourth, and end on the 6th. There we go. I've watered our carrots. So we're taking good care of our garden. Try using grid column to water these carrots. The spam keyword also works with the shorthand property, so give it a try. So grid column 2 spam 3. Oh, will it be like that? There we go. That's clever. One of the things that sets CSS grids apart from Flexbox is that you can easily position items in 2 dimensions, columns and rows. Grid row start works much like grid column start, except on the vertical axes. Use grid row start to water these carrots. It's going to be grid row start 1, 2, 3. There we go. Grid row 3 span 3. There we go. Use grid column and grid row at the same time. Okay. Grid row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grid column 2. There we go. We're doing alright. Oof. We've got lots of carrots now. You can also use grid column and grid row together to span larger areas within the grid. Okay. Grid column 2 span 4. Grid row 1 span 5. There we go. We're getting there. If typing out both grid column and grid row is too much for you, there's yet another shorthand for that. Grid area accepts 4 values separated by slashes. Row start, row end, column end. Okay. Grid area. So it's row start, column start, row end, column end. Do span 4. Check me. Okay. How about multiple items? You can overlap them without any trouble. Use grid area to define a second area that covers all the unwatered carrots. Okay. So this is going to be grid area. We want to start at row 2, column 3. I am learning grid, Steph. Well, I wanted to learn grid before I try and implement it for my layout, and I thought I might as well play a grid game. So we want to start at row 3, then we want it to end at row 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we want it to end at just do span 3. There we go. Whoop. We're getting there. Can I do all 28 though? That is the test. If grid items aren't explicitly placed with grid area, grid column, grid row, etc., they are automatically placed according to their order in the source code. We can override this using order property, which is one of the advantages of grid over table-based layout. By default, all grid items have an order of 0, but this can be set to any positive or negative value similar to Z-index. Right now, the carrots in the second column are being poisoned and the weeds in the last column are being watered. Change the order value of the poison ivy to fix this. So it's going to be order 1. -1. Interesting. -2. Oh, okay. Why is that 2? That's 0. But why would it be 2? 1, 2? Oh, it must be, yeah, 1, 2. But it's not a location. Oh, okay. Thanks, Steph. But even so, why is it 2? And like, 1 didn't work. Oh, 1 did work. I just got the colon. Alright, that makes sense. Okay. Now the water and poison are alternating, even though all the weeds are at the start of the garden. Set the order of the poisons to remedy this. So, if water's 0, this must be order -1. Yay! Yeah, because you want it to come before that. So the only way to make it come before that was to do -1. Oh, I'm going to my green screen again. Yay! Okay. Up to this point, you've had your garden set up as a grid with 5 columns, each 20% of the full width, and 5 rows, each at 20% of the full height. This is done with the rules: grid template columns 20% and grid template rows 20%. Each rule has 5 values which create 5 columns. But you can set the grid up however you like. Give grid item columns a new value to water your carrots. You want to set the width of the first column to be 50%. Okay. Grid template columns 50%. 50% like that. Yay! Okay, we're into the 20s and I've not gone horribly wrong just yet. Specifying a bunch of columns with identical widths can get tedious. Luckily, there's a repeat function to help with that. For example, we previously defined 5 20% columns with the rule grid template columns 20% times 5. This can be simplified as grid template columns repeat 5, 20%. Using grid template columns with the repeat function, create 8 columns each of 12.5% width. Okay. Grid template columns repeat. It's 8 times, and it's so 8 of 12.5%. Close that and then do a colon. Is that right? So it needs to be right next to each other. Grid template columns. I did do that. Oh, that was right. Was it? I guess so. Grid template columns doesn't just accept values in percentages, but also length units like pixels and ems. You can even mix different units together. Here, set 3 columns to 100 pixels, 3 ems, and 40% respectively. Okay. Grid template columns. 100 pixels, 3M, 40%. Interesting. It looks strange, but that's what it wanted. Okay. Grid also introduced a new unit, the fractional FR. Each FR unit allocates one share of the available space. For example, if 2 elements are set to 1 FR and 3 FR respectively, the space is divided into 4 equal shares. The first element occupies a quarter and the second element 3/4 of any leftover space. Here, weeds make up the left 1/6 of your first row and carrots remaining 5/6. Create 2 columns with these widths using FR units. Okay, so grid template columns should be 1, 6, 5, 6. No. Oh, I'm being silly. So it should be 1 FR, 5 FR. There we go. So now we have it equally spaced. We poison the weeds and water the carrots. Okay. When columns are set with pixels, percentages, or ems, any other column set with FR will divvy up the space that's left over. Here the carrots form a 50 pixel column on the left and the weeds a 50 pixel column on the right. With grid template columns, create these 2 columns and use FR to make 3 more columns to take up the remaining space in between. Okay, so it's going to be grid template columns 50 pixels, 1FR, 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 50 pixels, like that. Right. Okay, that's not quite right. Okay. So we want, that creates one. Do that. No, that creates a wider one, so we need to do 1FR, 1FR. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that was right. Now there is a 75 pixel column of weeds on the left side of your garden. 3/5 of the remaining space is growing carrots, while 2/5 has been overrun with weeds. Use grid template columns with a mixture of pixels and fractional units to make the necessary columns. Okay, so grid template columns is going to be 75 pixels. FR, 2FR, there we go. Grid template rows works much the same as the grid template columns. Use grid template rows to water all but the top 50 pixels of your garden. Note the water is set to fill only your 5th row, so you'll need to create 5 rows in total. Okay. Grid template rows. 50. Need to create 5 rows. Okay, so it should be 50 pixels. 1FR, 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 1FR. No. Do you wanna? How are we going to do this? Okay. So we want to water all but the top 50 pixels. So we need the rows. We need 1 row of 50 pixels, definitely. No, I'll divvy that up. How are we going to do it? I'm so confused. We do that. No. Why does that make the water disappear? I don't understand. That makes it go further away. That breaks. I'm so confused. You want to break it up more? I need to make that bottom one bigger, but how? This is fine up until now. Why has it suddenly got so difficult? So, we know that we don't want the top 50 pixels. So we want to block that off for definite. We want it to fill the rest. Hey, thanks for the drop in. Hey, thanks for the 100 bits. Colin was fine a minute ago. Why is Rose like flummoxing me? See if the power of salt can help. Hey, everyone's in the drop action. See, this is why CSS drives me bonkers, because I think I'm getting it and then I get dropped into some level where I feel like a stupid idiot. CSS makes me feel like a stupid idiot. Well, I mean, it was fun, Mr. Twist, but it's not feeling very fun at the moment because I've hit a block. Like, I was able to do the previous exercise just fine, where you set the fractional units for the column, so like 75%, then 3, and then 2. So it's like 50 pixels and then... See, that doesn't, It's okay. I've been doing fine. I've got to level 26 and I was doing great, and now I'm just completely screwing this one up. I don't know why this is so painful. That doesn't do it. I thought so. Like 4FR 50 pixels. No, that makes... So 50 pixels at the start is definitely right, because you can see how it draws a line. So we want... Oh, you can't quite see it. Hang on. Let me get rid of this top overlay. Hang on. If I can. Let's just unlock the one thing we want to change, which is full screen. Just going to play with the crop a minute to try and how do you create empty rows? That's my full screen rows. Okay, you should be able to see it better now. Oh yeah. That makes... That's one. That only makes 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. It said you need to create 5 rows in total, but that works. It's okay. I have a crop on anyway on my screen, so so you should be able to see it a bit better now. I mean, that worked. Like, I can tell you why it worked. Because why would, just because it's set to fill down here, why would empty rows fill them up? But, hey, we have carrots. Okay. Grid template is a shorthand property that combines grid template rows and grid template columns. For example, grid template 50, 50, 200 pixels will create a grid with 2 rows that are 50% each and 1 column that's 200 pixels wide. You try using grid template to water an area that includes the top 60% and left 200 pixels. Okay. So we want a grid template that is 60%, 40%. There we go. Huzzah! Okay. Your garden is looking great. Here you've left a 50 pixel path at the bottom of your garden and filled the rest with carrots. Unfortunately, the left 20% of your carrots have been overrun with weeds. You will use CSS grid one last time to treat your garden. Okay, so we're going to do grid template and we do rows first. So we want 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, I think. Let's do that actually. Okay, so it's far. Okay, so that did the columns, but we just need to do the rows. So that's going to be far. Nope. 0, 0, 0, 0. Nope. Okay, let's think about this. So that 20% fills the left 20%. So then the rest is going to be about this. So we want to leave an area of, is it rows or columns first? So it's rows and then columns. And columns would be right. There's 2 rows at 50% each. So you want it for each number of rows that you want. So you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 20%, 20%, 20%, and times 50 pixels. And then columns would be 20%, 20%, 20%. No, that doesn't work. Just copy this for a minute. Okay. Well, now it's not 60-40 split. It's going to be... No, it doesn't like fractional. No. Ah. I'm so dumb. You want... Oh. So it's minus 50. No. Yeah, so it's like, it needs to fill, so columns wise you need, this is columns, so it's going to be 1FR, 4FR. And then here it's rows, so it's going to be, yeah, all but 90%, so almost. No, okay. So that splits it into... There we go. 4 fractions of it is full. 50%, then you have another row of 50% at the bottom. Then you split the next one into 5 columns. The first column is 1 fraction, the second one is 4. We did it! Look at that! I didn't completely fail Grid Garden. Boing, boing. That cool. This calls for a
Yeehaw!
Nice. Okay. So now we can attempt this ta-da! Hey, thanks for the celebration, Salt Bits. Okay, so now we can attempt this grid. So now that we know that we want to do display grid. Template columns. I want 2 columns. We want the problem with this is we want dynamic rows. Hey, look at this. See, nailed it. Okay. We want dynamic rows though, because we don't know how many rows we're going to get. Woo, look at all these drops and celebration. Now what do we get? So now it's a grid. Let's go! Users pay. Yeah, no, it's a grid. That's good. Why is it like... What's the invalid property value? Oh, does it need 50%, 50%? Okay, so that's 2 columns. But it's one big row, so we need to split it into grid template rows. That should split it into rows. Okay. We had oh yes, you've got the outer grid which sets out the number of rows and columns, and then you've got the items. There's another. The thing this doesn't show you though is it doesn't show you how it got the items in. Like the carrots aren't here, so we're gonna do something old-fashioned way, which is look at our esteemed leader. Our esteemed leader's code helps everything. Okay, so let's do a bit of point and look, shall we? Inspect. So we want to inspect home grid. There we go. So, okay, so it's 2 and 3 because you want it wider on the right. I want it equal width, so I don't need to use fractional units. Then you've got grid areas. Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, so we can do... Yeah, so we want to split it up into... We can actually do grid template, and we want... Oh, we'll do columns actually, because I don't know how many rows I want at the minute. I want 1 FR, 1 FR. So we've got 2 equally split columns on the page. There we go. Then we've got a container, so we need to do stuff to the container. We've got our grid. So that's column 1, row 1. Hey, thanks for the follow. Look at all these hobo people coming to follow. Okay, so... And that's column... Oh yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3. That's vertical lines. There should be 2 vertical lines in this. How do we break it up? So we've got the grid. Then in each grid, that's a grid area. You can give it names like that. Was that generated? There we go. So look at CSS tricks. Okay. We've got the grid container and the grid items. Oh yeah, it's grid column start and grid column row end and stuff. Okay. So we've got, so that's the main grid. Then we need another grid, which is going to be the class name. It's going to be equal to users page dot entry grid item. Then in here we want a entry grid item, and we want it to be grid area where was it? Oh, that's it, grid column and grid end here. Grid column start at 1, grid row start at 1. What's that going to do? Okay, this is where I'm getting, see, this is what I mean, right? You learn how to do something in a silly little game, but then when you actually go to apply it, it's an absolute nightmare. Because, like, you know, there's talks about how to apply the background to stuff, but it doesn't actually teach you about, well, where do you want to put the items? The items already exist. So for each item, I want it to start at column 1, row 1, but then how do you get it to repeat? Like, how does this do it? So for each item, multiple things in here? Rich text page content, so that doesn't use grid. Yeah, so this is why I hate these stupid exercises and why it annoys me when people, you know, with CSS, because okay, well, the thing I want to say is I'm like, right, okay, I just want it to be span across 2 columns with a dynamic number of rows. But if you specify that you want it to start at column 1, row 1, it's going to overlap each other. See, I literally just passed the CSS grid garden thing. I'm supposed to be able to do this now, yet here we go. I'm trying to do it and I'm failing miserably. Okay. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. I'll get rid of that. Can come back one. Don't need that. Grid. start 1, grid, row, end, 2. Nope. Because you're forcing it into one column. What's it? End 2 maybe, so not do grid area. Just start 1 and end at 2. 1 span 2. Grid column start 1 span 2. We don't need grid row end. No. Or should it be on the container? Is it that we don't need this? Oops. Oh, that was right. And that actually it can go in display grid. I'm so unhappy. Oh, sorry. Display grid column. Start at 1 and span 2 columns. So that's a grid. So it's supposed to span, yeah, so it doesn't like that. If we did grid column and 2. Well, this is useful. I thought we could play with it in DevTools, apparently not. Grid. It's got a grid. I don't do any of that nonsense. I just want to change the values of the grid. So 1 and 2. No, but you could do that. 1. Grid column. Template. From 50%, 50%. Okay. But we want maybe 40%, 20%, 40%. That's not what we want. We want grid. Template areas. I want it to be 40%, 20%, 40%. No, okay. Oh no, we can. Right. Okay, that. Put it into the grid. Don't help me, okay. It's not, it's gonna be grid, column, start 1, grid, column, and 3. Right, that made us. Oh. Okay. We could just do expands 2. Wait, why? See, I had it working a minute ago. No. But then I had too many divs, so I don't understand. Entry grid column start 1, grid column end 3. Okay, grid template errors. grid template areas. Okay. Left column. Okay. I don't actually need the areas right now. I just needed to set the columns, and then I need to set some spacing. We've got them next to each other with 2 columns, but we need to get the spacing between them. So that's wrong because it's put the gaps in there. Each entry there should be some padding to the right. We turn off grid a minute. It's a bit better. It can take up more space, but I'm wondering whether we give this container more space in the page. Take out that. How does it look? Okay, it's still forcing it into sort of space. Why? Got main. Got the container. Container. Which container is that? What's it inheriting? Better. How's that applied? Wrapper, max width. Okay. What? That should just work. Okay, what about that later? What's that one? HTML. Oh, we just need to be specific max width. So rather than 48 rems, we'll make it 96 rems. But we're also going to say again that margin left is auto. I still want it centered, I just wanted it to take up more space on the page. It's auto. Ooh. So now we should have, that's better. Looks a bit less. This can have a bit more room. We just need a better logo. Okay, we have it in a grid format. Yes, it does, Smarty. It means that I have Starlink. We can do a speed test. Ooh, wait. It might buffer stream for a minute, but that's okay. Yeah, well, I didn't know it was an option. Yes, that's what I'm currently getting download-wise. Yeah, upload's a bit dodgy because I'm streaming, but I mean that's not bad still. Okay, so we've got this on the page. I need to fix the icon, but that's an icon problem, not a CSS problem. I'm wondering if we should have it so that the Learn More button is always at the... No, it's going to be awkward. I want to have it almost like the Learn More is always level, but that would mean that you have to restrict the size of the content, and that's painful. Oof, that's a good point. Oof. Something almost tells me I don't want to know. Oof. Oof. I mean, it could be worse, but it's not great. I forgot we're supposed to do mobile first development. Okay, that's an epic disaster. That's lost its icon completely. That's squished to high heaven. And what if we took out our max width and made it wrapper max width again? It didn't appear to make a difference, but I'm not entirely convinced. Should be that. That was right. It just looked terrible on mobile before anyway. Okay. What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? Oh yes, we've got Yes, we want something like this, where we're much more specific. So we actually say hey, thanks Twitchy. Welcome in, welcome in. We're getting there. Hype. So for an entry container, we're going to be specific and say that this is display grid, and then grid template columns is going to be 1FR, 1FR. Oh, don't need the semicolon. There we go. So we split it in two, and it only applies if the page is 768. Hype, 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 hype. Yeehaw! Okay. So now it's one column on mobile. Code it up indeed, Twitchy. Code it up indeed. What were you playing today? Did you manage to play some Subnautica without some troll constantly moving you around the map with channel points? And then if we come back to desktop, hey, it's two columns. Then we go back to mobile. It's one column. Bizarre. Thanks for the suggestion, Steffi. This is too narrow again, but we can go back to two columns. There's max width of 98 rounds on desktop. Yeah, I see the hobo troll on Wednesday because he's got to pop out for an appointment, and he might be when his engineer turns up, so I said I'd go house sit for an hour while he pops out. So he doesn't have to possibly lose out on internet or rearrange an appointment and wait weeks. Okay, that didn't do anything. Why did that not do anything? Because I need to take that out. Oh no. I should be right. It's alright, Twitchy. He's been through enough. He's bored stiff. I couldn't imagine having no internet. Okay, so by default the max width is that, but if it's on a desktop then it's display grid. Ooh. It gets messy because we don't want the margin left and right. If we need to do a reset if it's desktop, so margin left of 0 and a margin right of 0 to do a reset. Sounds about right. You know it's cold when he's complaining he's cold. Okay, that didn't work. Max width of 98 rounds, but that's not doing anything. Why? It should be stretchier than that. Thanks, Twitchy. Have good foods. Well, yeah, I thought that, but I want to get rid of it if... a minute ago, I'm sure I had it so that I had it stretched a minute ago. It only messed up because I was, because of the whole mobile thing. Let me just... Ah, okay. We don't need the content wrapper. So what happens now? Okay, and then we can go back to... Like, I'm surprised you've not gone insane watching me, to be fair, White Panther, because, like, you're on your deathbed with a cold, and then here you are having to deal with my useless coding skills. So we don't need to take off that anymore. That's better. And then on mobile, it still looks okay. Okay, there we go. We have a grid. Nice, look at that. Grid. Amazing. Like, I might break it out into categories later and stuff, but at least we have a grid. Nice. I call that success. We wanted to put a grid into the users page, and that's exactly what we've done. You know, there's things we can do to make it feel more box-like, whether it's a line or like a background shade, or, you know, something that makes it clearer that each is ended, or a bit more space, because like here I don't think it has lines. Yeah, you just have the date and then a space, so maybe it's okay. But yeah, there we go. Anyway, we're going to call that a success. We have the start of a slightly better looking users page. We smashed Grid Garden. So now we're going to go raid somebody if there's anyone online to raid, because I'm up super early to go to the gym, and so I do not want to be streaming after 9 PM. Women who stream.tech, let's go. Few people online. Ah, Metal and Coffee, yep, sorted, let's go. Go, friends, let's go. What's our raid call gonna be? Let's do... And then we're gonna do... Raid. I'm gonna do... Sword. Come on. Fight. There we go, that's what our raid call is gonna be. Yeah, it says, is it 1 underscore or 2? One. Let's go. We're gonna do /raid at metal. You're getting too eager, J Walter. We haven't done it yet. Think bad at this. Yeah, it's just all one word and an underscore. Okay. Raid metal underscore. Okay, let's go. Well, thank you for joining us, friends. We made some progress. We smashed the grid. So, and more importantly, like, my internet didn't crap out. My phone's not plugged in. It's cool as a cucumber. I've not charged it in ages, and I've still got plenty of battery. So, yay! I call this a Sunday win. So we'll see where we're at. See how tomorrow goes. Who knows? I might be back tomorrow. I might not. We'll see how we go. But for now, let's go raid Metal and Coffee and show some support. What? Thanks for the salt bids. Bye, friends.
Adjusting. Hey,